Hello everyone, this is Blue854. Got a video topic here. It's going to touch the heartstrings and probably the anger strings of several people. I'm going to talk about the Connecticut school shooting that happened today. First off, I'd like to pay a tribute to the children that were gunned down, and the administrators and this gentleman's mother who was killed. Even the brother of this guy, I mean, you got to think, good Lord, people are going to hate him even. Well, you're his brother. Well, yeah, maybe. He's his brother, but it doesn't mean that he's a crazy asshole like he is. It's not going to mean he's going to go shoot up a school. I feel sorry for the people that are touched by this violence. I feel sorry for every person out there that's been touched by violence ever in their life, whether it was a gun used on them or not. My mother had a gun held on her when she was pregnant with me at Food Giant. And she's not anti-gun. Look, people, what happened today is terrible. But it's the person that's the problem, it's not the gun. That's the topic. Not the gun's fault. That gun, those however many guns he used, they didn't come out of the house. Well, first off, they didn't load themselves. They didn't leave the house, get in a car, drive themselves to the school, walk in, get buzzed in by whoever it was, the secretary, whatever, and just start going off and killing a bunch of kids. A human element was there. The human element was the 20 to 24-year-old gentleman that committed this crime today. I will not mention his name because I will not give him the time of day or the glory of the media coverage that he wants. I'm not going to mention his name. Y'all can say it all you want to, but I think that that's your mistake. If it was up to me, I wouldn't mention any of them's name. I would just say some 20 to 24-year-old crazy, insane ass killed a bunch of innocent children today. The end. Put the children's pictures up on the TV, don't put his. He deserves no coverage. On to the next part of this. People are going to commit violence. Violence has been going on from the beginning of time till now, and it's going to continue to go on till the end of the world. Violence is here to stay. It's just part of the world we live in, part of life. Regardless of what you have, I can go out and beat somebody to death with a shovel. Am I going to do it? No. Why? Well, for one, at this point I don't have any reason, and two, it's wrong. It's morally wrong to go kill someone. But I could just as easily go out with the guns I have in my house, do the same thing. But just because I have a gun doesn't change my mind that the fact that it's wrong and I have no reason to do it. That gun's not going, well, I got this shovel here. I'm not going to kill him with the shovel, but I got the gun. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm going to do it now. No, it's not like that. A gun does not change your way of thinking. If you want to kill somebody, you got that in your mind, you are going to do it regardless of whatever means necessary you have. Whether you have a gun legally or illegally, if you even have a gun at all, you could have a pickaxe. Hell, I could go to school with a pencil and stab somebody in the trachea and kill them. We're going to start outlawing pens and pencils at school now? That ought to be great for the learning experience of our children. What I'm telling you people, y'all are going to get really ridiculous with the anti-gun stuff now since this has happened. Since this has happened and the mall shooting. But that's not the answer. The answer is people. People are the problem. But as bad as it is that people are the problem, the law-abiding citizen, still, you cannot infringe on his rights. He has the right to own that gun given to him by the Second Amendment of the Constitution, and the reason we have it is not to hunt. It's not for sporting purposes. It is the right to bear arms to defend oneself against a tyrannical government. The exact tyrannical government that we split from the Brits and had a freaking war over for our freedom of religion, our freedom of speech, our freedom to bear arms to protect ourselves from the exact same thing happening again. Sure, people are going to go out and do stupid crap with a gun. I agree. There are dumb people in this world. There are insane sociopath people in this world. You will not convince me of that otherwise. I agree with you 100% on that, but what I do not agree with you with is that, well, we need to ban guns because guns are the problem. No, the problem is the insane psycho out here that's beating people to death with a shovel for $6. Don't ask me about it because I can't go into detail. But just take it at face value what I just said. Because you know stuff like that happens. People are going to commit acts of crime and violence. Marijuana, heroin, crack cocaine, methamphetamine are all illegal. We still hear about meth labs blowing up. We still hear about a growing crack and heroin problem in our inner cities. And in our rural areas even too with methamphetamine, it's even worse. We ban that stuff, but the people that didn't abide by the law, they were the problem. They are the problem because they're still making meth, they're still selling crack, they're still using crack. Even though it's been banned. You can't go to the dollar store and buy crack because it's illegal. But you can still get it through the ways and means. If you got the will, you can get crack. Just like if you ban guns, you got the will, you can get a gun. You ban guns to where I can't go to Paducah Shooters and buy a firearm, somebody's going to still get a gun. If they want it, they're going to get it. We can't live in fear. Living in fear is not living. Communists live in fear. The guys that fought in World War II for the Russian army lived in fear. They either turned and ran towards the fight, because hell, they knew they might as well give themselves a chance and try to make it. Because if they turned around, they were shot for cowardice. They lived in fear. Guys and gals, we must always remember the Constitution gives us these certain rights that shall not be infringed upon, and just because people misuse the freedoms that they have does not give the government the right to take it away from everyone. There is a phrase that a lot of Christians use that basically says, you should not judge the master by the slaves. In other words, there's people out there that proclaim to be Christians and live a good Christian life. There's also people out there that proclaim to be Christians are total hypocrites. Okay? But you cannot judge Christ by the hypocrites. Just as much as you should not judge all the American people, the law-abiding American citizen, by a few nut jobs that shoot up schools or malls or churches or whatever, or go down and do a Jonestown massacre. Look, I could go on and on about this subject, but I can't. YouTube only allows me 10 minutes, which kind of sucks. But I think I've pretty much made my point clear in the 9 minutes plus that we are right now. People are the problem. There's your main focus. Hell, if you want to start issuing psychiatric exams for people before they can get a license to buy a firearm, I mean, as much as I still don't like that idea, I guess it's better than nothing. Not that it's really going to matter, because this kid apparently stole these firearms from his mother after he killed her. But something's better than the way we're going now. The whole, let's ban guns. It ain't going to work. Prohibition didn't work. That's not going to work. The Twin Towers were blown up with 7.67s with guys with box cutters. They could have went to the dollar store and bought it. I can't go buy a gun at the dollar store, but I can get a box cutter. And they took down two one of our biggest statements of financial security that we had, and took it literally to rubble and buried people with box cutters, and the will to do it. The will to do it, more importantly than what they used. In closing, I'd like to say I'm sorry to all the victims of this tragedy and any other violence. But people, we cannot be the sheep. We cannot be the flock unguarded. We must keep ourselves protected against each other and against our government that may try to overrun us and take every freedom, every last one we have, and throw it out the window in the names that we are more secure. But to live in fear is no life at all. Thank you for listening.